A Maryland man was charged with attempted murder for targeting Trump's budget chief, Russ Vought, fearing a fascist takeover. Gee, do we think the mainstream media is covering this? I doubt it. Colin DeMarco allegedly appeared at the residence last August wearing gloves and a surgical mask. He's a 26-year-old man facing attempted murder charges after allegedly traveling to the North Virginia home of the Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Vought with the intent to kill him, according to court records and law enforcement sources. Colin DeMarco was arrested on January 22nd by the Arlington County Police and is charged with multiple offenses. He's scheduled to appear in court February 23rd. Court documents identify the intended victim only as RV, described as a presidential appointee. Sources familiar with the case confirmed the target was Vought. Ian, does this sound to you that things are heating up? I mean, we've had how many attempted murder events do we need before? I mean, do we think it's going to take something horrible happening before? I mean, can we crack down on this, preemptively, or is it just we have to let it play out?
You can't really crack down on it till after it happens, unfortunately, which is why politics isn't the best piercing mechanism to stop this stuff. I think it really is up to the job of people in the media. Like you said, is the mainstream media even covering this? We have a duty sitting on a show like this. Anytime you go live, anytime you talk to the world to de-escalate these things. You said this happened late January, so that was like 2 weeks ago this happened. A lot has changed in 2 weeks, but it's definitely indicative of a trend that I've seen. He
was in the leftist costume of gloves, sunglasses, and surgical masks, so at least he was protecting himself from COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought they typically wore unicorn outfits and hammers.
The office of the CBO is not a particularly high-profile part of the federal government, so I wonder if this guy has some kind of problem that he sees with the funding of something, like something that a family member was getting that got cut or something like that. Because again, usually if someone's going to go after a member of the administration, they're going to go after someone that's a little more high profile just because they want the attention. The director of the CBO, it's not like most people don't know.
This is the first I've even heard of this position.
Yeah, exactly. Most people don't even know what the CBO is, right?
Yeah.
Congressional Office of Budget Management.
It is Rumble Wallet on the App Store. My friends, you got to check it out. They can cancel your accounts. They can freeze your cards, decide what you're allowed to buy, say or support. Big banks and financial institutions have total control, and they use it. That's why financial independence matters now more than ever. Go to wallet.rumble.com. It's non-custodial. Okay, let's break this down. What does it mean? On the Rumble wallet, you can trade crypto with people who have accounts on Rumble. It's like an app where you can send people cash, but it's either Tether Gold, or Bitcoin, making it really easy for you to tip people on Rumble and pay somebody money you owe them. Maybe you're going to the store and you're like, hey, man, I want to get a slice of pizza. I didn't bring cash. Hey, let me Rumble wallet you some Tether, which is effectively tied. It is effectively US dollars. It's tied to the US dollar. There's no permission, no middleman, no cancel button. No one's banning you. No one's spending your accounts. Rumble has no control over this. There's no reality where Rumble can go in and ban you and shut down your ability to trade your currency. It is yours. It's not a credit line that can be shut off. It's your wallet, permanently yours. When the systems fail, institutions turn on their own people. Rumble Wallet is about politics, it's about freedom and ownership and protecting what's yours. So take control. Download Rumble Wallet now. Step away from the big banks. Go to wallet.rumble.com and check it out. We got a link for you too. I think it's okay. Well, that's not a good link I can say, but I'll have a link in the description below. Check it out.
It's not very high profile, so I wonder what his motivation is. I wonder why it was Russ that he picked out.
Maybe something he cared about got doged away, or
I wonder if it's reminiscent of Luigi as well, because
I was going to say some kind of Luigi Mangione situation.
Oh, he's trying to be like a Wish.com Luigi Mangione. Wait. Well, investigators say DeMarco later admitted to going to the residence to confront Vought over Project 2025. A conservative policy initiative associated with the Heritage Foundation. He denied having a weapon or intending to harm anyone. Well, I guess there's our answer. All that propaganda coming to a head, it seems. It's just...
But even the exactly like this says, Project 2025 was a think tank thing.
It's kind of old, too.
Yeah, I mean, the left was freaking out over Project 2025, and if you honestly like the stuff in Project 2025, like I didn't read a whole lot of stuff in it that I didn't like. Most of it was like pretty boilerplate conservative type stuff. So I think to Ian's point, like the way that the media kind of portrays any kind of cuts or basically any conservative policies, they frame it as if it's the end of the world, that there is somehow going to attack minorities. It's somehow motivated by evil as opposed to motivated by trying to maybe manage the national debt, balance the budget, those kind of things. So it could be just a situation of this guy got riled up by the media.
And this really is juxtaposed to what Virginia is trying to pass, those 20 some odd bills they tried to pass this past couple of last month, right? Mm-hmm. And some of these things were like, full-term abortions. We're not going to have anyone outside the polling places enforcing, immigration status. I mean, they actually are proposing things that are actually evil. Project 2025 says we're just going to follow the Constitution and the laws that are on the books, make sure we enforce them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, there's nothing that's particularly offensive in Project 2025. It's pretty boilerplate conservative stuff. So I'm not sure what it was that he actually had a problem with. Again, it's a pretty big document. Like there's a lot of things that they talked about, but it was still just an outline of things that conservatives would like the federal government to do. They'd like to see the administration do. It wasn't some kind of guarantee that it was even going to happen by the administration.
Yeah, the most I remember of Project 2025 is mainly just Trump having to denounce it eventually because they were trying to come at him with, but this.
Yeah,
right.
Because the way the left characterized it was they were going to take away all your rights. It's going to be what's that stupid movie they always dress up in, the red dresses?
Oh, Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. It's going to throw women under the bus and all of this stuff because it's going to make us a Christian nationalist nation and blah blah blah. Doing all the fear mongering stuff and obviously that has not come to pass. It's exceedingly unlikely that it will come to pass because that's not even Donald Trump's. Like that, Donald Trump's not that guy. They want people to think that he's some kind of evangelical or what have you because the evangelicals support him. But the evangelicals support him largely because he appointed conservatives to the bench at the SCOTUS and got Roe versus Wade overturned. It's not because they're like, man, that guy's got a wholesome family life. Everyone's aware of Donald Trump's sordid past, and the evangelicals are looking at him and they're like, well, it's better than trans and the kids.
He's never pretended to be a perfect Christian man. He's even been reported once saying, like, I don't know if I would go to heaven. Like, I don't know if I'll make it in. But he's still a 90s Democrat, right? 90s liberal. My favorite reason to watch Home Alone too, honestly.
But I mean, to your point, like if you look at the stuff that he talks about when he's talking about immigration, these policies that we have now, they were all passed with bipartisan support, right? And they're the exact same policies that Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, all the Democrats 15 years ago were like, this is how we're going to deal with illegal immigration. We're going to build some kind of barrier. We're going to build a fence. We're going to do all this stuff. And then after Barack Obama's first term and woke kind of sensibilities took over the country, that's when it was like, oh, these things are verboten. You can't talk about building a barrier. Oh, no one's illegal on stolen land, and there should be no borders in the world. You should be able to travel freely. Blah blah blah. I mean, even Bernie Sanders said, look, the no borders, the every illegal immigrant coming in. That's a Koch brothers policy, and then I'm against it because it hurts the workers in America. Like that was his policy position for the longest time until those two women of color got up on stage and kicked him off of his own stage.
Oh my God,
pussy!
He got stood up. Apparently, the law enforcement officials did find drafted notes referencing a manifesto, a weapons stash, and a document titled "Body Disposal Guide." Whew.
Smart.
Vague.
I mean, you got to title that something else.
Like nothing. Like don't have a title on the book at least.
Yeah. Like someone else's
title
diary.
it. I don't know. Christmas wish list. I don't know.
He bought a small pig farm.
A search of his iCloud account allegedly revealed references to firearms, including a .357 Magnum Colt revolver. A partial search of his residence did not recover weapons, but probably tons of anime. Just kidding. Complaint also cites social media and Discord messages in which DeMarco allegedly expressed violent thoughts towards Trump. Surprise, surprise. and discussed locating Vaught's address. Yep, and like you said, he reportedly admired Luigi Mangione.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Gay.
Yeah.
So gay. so gay. I want to be a Mario.
I love the article here. It says fully preloaded 357 Magnum. What does that
like
mean, fully preloaded? It's either loaded or not loaded.
Preload. Yeah, that's like 6 bullets max, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like an
they're
adult film.
insinuating he was going to unload the
Was
gun
it
on
cocked? Like
No.
the hammerback?
This is a family show, Carter.
preloading it, and it kind of indicates that he's intending to use it.
Yeah.
If you preload a weapon, you're doing it for a purpose. If you're just loading the weapon, it
What's
doesn't
the
mean.
difference between
I mean-
preloading and loading? It's like pre-boarding
Exactly.
and boarding.
Does that mean he had an extra 6 bullets in his pocket? Or
I don't know. I'm not
It
really.
just goes down to the people who write these
Down to
articles have no idea about firearms
Yeah.
or anything whatsoever. Preloaded. They all say he has a weapon
This is
stash.
a post-millennial. This is a very highly regarded.
Phil, what is a
News
stash of
outlet.
firearms? How would you define
Preloaded probably meant it was loaded when he got picked up, so he loaded it before. He didn't show up and have an empty gun with bullets on the side and was going to load it on scene or whatever. Most likely.
You're
But
right.
I mean,
I
look,
thought men liked to unload themselves before a date.
anybody that carries a gun or whatever, you're going to have it loaded, right? Like the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, I need a gun. Let me, shoot.
Hold on a second
especially-
there.
Especially a
Hold
wheel-
on.
especially
Don't
a
murder me
wheel
just
gun,
yet.
you
Let
know?
me just.
So
Wow. Yep, and court records state DeMarco previously told law enforcement he feared Trump's reelection would lead to a fascist takeover.
Yeah.
In November of 24, he was detained under a, guess what, mental illness emergency petition after telling police he wanted to die following the election. All right, get in the pile with everybody else. Just move to Canada, move out of the country. I'm going to die. I can't survive. Trump won.
tale as old as time.
Song as old as tune.
Rhyme.
Well, Trump won the popular vote, so by definition, these people who are coming out here doing these things, the people who are doing the violence against ICE, they are the actual fascists because we won the popular vote. Everything that's happening right now is what everyone voted for in majority.
Yep.
So we are, by definition, not the fascists.
Well, I brought up before, I voted for Trump actually this time, particularly because I wasn't going to vote for Kamala Harris and the imperial candidate being without a primary. But I didn't vote for carte blanche with Trump. I voted to give him the authority to do the deportations, secure the border. But if he goes haywire and starts commanding people to massacre dudes on the streets to collect I'm going to speak up against it still. So he still has a threshold of decency.
Yeah.
Of he's got to meet legality. He's got to meet morality.
I think he's-
it sounds like you're coming out in support of the guy that was going after Russ Voigt.
Yeah, you're like, he had some good points.
No, I'm just saying the rhetoric of Trump got the popular vote, therefore everything he does is fine is not. It's a fallacy. He still has a threshold of things he can and shouldn't do.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's limited by law.
He's followed the federal judges who are, in my opinion, should just be overlooked. And also, just an interview, I think it was today or yesterday, where he said he's calling the mayors, he's calling the cities, he's asking permission to come in there. So he actually is doing things, I think, pretty amicably. He's not forcing his way into places, but we have problems.
Just because the narrative that the left puts out is that Trump is some kind of fascist dictator doesn't mean that Trump has even broken the law, right? There's nothing that Trump has ordered anyone to do that's illegal.
But the right will come out and say, "Oh, I can't believe we're he's giving up. We're losing. He's calling. He's recalling those ICE agents. Out of Minnesota. This is terrible." But
I think
I mean,
some of those people are like radicals or like extremists that have nothing to lose on the right. Like there's people on the left, obviously, you'll see that'll go out and Mangione, for instance, potentially nothing left to lose, desperate. But the people on the right are like, you're not hitting it hard enough, Trump. Like, who are they? Were they from keyboards? I don't never see like a really prominent, very rarely right-wing personality demanding like blood on the street or harder. It's pretty rare because that will put the eye of Sauron on you as a speaker. So it's just in these texts.
Younger people want to see more out of Trump. People like Nick Fuentes, they want to see more out of Donald Trump. Like he thinks that Trump's dropping the ball and not going nearly hard enough.
America First people, all his followers.
Yeah. But to the point about like the idea that Trump isn't doing enough, Look, there are people in Minneapolis. Will Stansel's in Minneapolis, and he tweeted. He was saying, "For all the drawdown, ICE talk continues all over Minneapolis feels endless. Like Homan is smarter than Bovino. No real feat there." He says he understands that if he does stuff that signals that we're in the denouement of the crisis, media will move on. But brutality with observers is escalating. ICE is still omnipresent. Little sign on the ground that it's over. You know, like we said, 2,300 ICE agents is still a massive increase from over. You know what it was? I think it was 300 or something like that they had.
I heard the number 70 last night. Maybe it was 300.
Maybe, but even still, like it's a huge increase. So even if 700 people, 700
scaled
agents
the optics down for the media, but they're still there.
Yeah,
present.
and that was an argument that me and Sean were having last night. Like Sean thinks that they should be showing people that we're carting people off and they're getting deported, like he was talking about making a TV show.
Here's a TikTok of everybody getting thrown into a
They
truck.
tried that for a little while.
And my point was like, if you can do it without anyone seeing it, without anyone knowing that it's going
Then
on,
people can't get
just
upset.
so long as you're following the law, just so long as you're doing it legally. But if you can do it without all the bluster and without all the protests and without all the fighting, that's the best option.
Well, it's crazy because like Stalin went and did this stuff in the middle of the night so not to alarm the population. Like we're doing it in broad daylight, which is arguably more transparent than anything.
You bring up Stalin, it's exactly why I specified, made the caveat of within the law and stuff like that.
Right, totally. That was also illegal.
Yeah,
by the way.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, Stalin made it legal to do what he did in the middle of the night in silence. So it's a double-edged sword. I know what you're saying because you don't want to inflame the populace with scaring them with media of dudes getting dragged away, but at the same time, like
I think
you don't want to hide the darkness if it does get.
I'm not saying.
Hold on. I got to push back on that. I think equating what's being done with ICE in the United States today to Stalin is vastly overstating it.
I didn't equate it.
You were using it as an example.
Yeah, it's not an equation. They're not the same thing. But I'm saying if it got to that point where it is,
I was
very,
using it
very bad.
as an exact opposite to show that something being done in the dead of night is secretly being done and, clearly wrong. But the fact that Trump's doing things in the daytime for everyone to see is way more dangerous for ICE, but he's not breaking the law.
Biden was flying people into the middle of the night all over the country when he was in the regime.
Yeah,
he did plenty of things in the middle of the night.
We could get Barney to come out and be like, clean up, everybody, everywhere, clean up. And he's throwing the illegals back onto the truck.
I read today that J.D. Vance is heading up an audit in California, that he was put ahead of this. I think at some point you're going to have limited returns in Minneapolis. I know they've already deported tens of thousands of people out of there, and there will be limited returns. So I like the strategy of you go into a place, you hit them hard, you hit them fast, you get a lot of people out of there, and then you move somewhere else, you do it somewhere else. Because we know that it's happening all over the country. So I like this drop ship bunch of people, get a bunch of work done, go somewhere else. Don't let them catch up. Don't let them have enough time to organize and put people together to put up barriers and riots.
Get a couple thousand of the worst out of there, and, that's better than nothing.
You can always go back if there's more.
That's true. Yeah,
it's not like there. You go into Minneapolis one time and sorry, we already did that. We can't go back.
Yeah, it's your house, Daddy. You can come back whenever you want.
Let them feel safe.
In combat too, they'll hit a target and then they'll wait like 2 hours until everybody comes out to try to start to do the recovery, and then they hit the target again to get everybody. And that's what they could do with ICE. They go in, they hit the target, wait till
a donkey punch.
Sit them down and
sorry,
round two.
Is it really like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
You just track the sales of rice and bananas. You'll know when they're coming back out.
Maybe I have to look and put that is again. Okay.
You're watching the supermarkets to see if the population's increased.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.